Hey guys, Kathy here. I'd like to welcome you to Simple Clean Living. So it's been a while since I have done a video. I mean, it's been well over 9 months, and I thought that it was time, and I was to a point where I was ready to really just stop by and give you a life update, tell you what's been going on, why I haven't been here, and what's going on now. So a lot of you probably have followed my weight loss journey. I was really excited. I started that in August of 2020. You know, I had been losing weight consistently and had dropped, I think it was about 30 pounds. I was really proud of myself. On September 23rd, I hit kind of a big milestone for me, not in terms of weight, but on that day, I hit 1 year that I had been getting 10,000 steps every single day. So I had gone an entire year where, I had been doing that and been really active and so on and so forth. I was super proud of myself and, really excited. But that afternoon, everything changed in my life. I got a phone call that afternoon from my step brother-in-law, and my father had collapsed in his backyard, and they thought that he was having a stroke, but it actually wasn't a stroke. One of the reasons why I had started my journey was that my father had a heart attack in January of 2020, right before the pandemic started. And, so for me, with where I was, knowing that I had extra weight that I needed to lose that I was carrying around, and a family history of both cancer and heart disease, I made a commitment to myself to start losing the weight and getting healthier. And unfortunately, what they thought was a stroke was actually my dad's heart stopping and his pacemaker trying to jumpstart his heart. It was not successful. Unfortunately, we lost him that day. And so for me, suddenly I went from being very proud of my accomplishment to dealing with just this overwhelming sense of grief. I lost my mom in 2014. She passed from cancer, and it was a really unexpected moment for me. And I know that my main way of coping with big traumatic events and stress has always been food. That's how I've soothed myself. And so of course I went back to that, along with wanting to soothe myself, my siblings and I, we also were wanting to experience all of those foods that were so important to us growing up. The things that were a big deal for my family, the things that, my mom made regularly, all of those recipes, of course, that was not long before the holiday season. And so we wanted to do the same thing with all of the holiday goodies. And we spent a lot of time together as family, but there was just a lot of eating going on. And, I did gain back the weight that I had lost, plus a few additional pounds. And just was trying to figure out my way through the whole grief thing. And, it's taken some time. And, as a result of the stress that I was dealing with, I just have had a horrible gastritis flare. I've had digestive issues. And I think for anybody who is an empath or a highly sensitive person, it's real common for us to deal with digestive issues, and it's something that I've dealt with for decades. I mean, I remember having some digestive issues when I was a child, when I went through a time where I was being bullied by a neighborhood girl, and I did better for a while until I went into college. And for me, that was a very stressful time, moving out on my own for the first time and all of that. And so that was when I started having reflux issues, and I started having other just digestive problems, the gastritis flares. I have a hiatal hernia, all of that kind of thing. And so, it's flared a lot in the past 7.5 months since my dad passed. And, you know, so what I'm doing now, one of the things that I started doing, and I actually started doing this back in March, was I got myself back to eating better and starting to move again, and, you know, being more active and doing that. And, you know, I just realized that kind of dealing with grief in that way and trying to soothe myself with food wasn't the answer for me, and that just wasn't a good way for me to do it. And so for me, you know, I just had to kind of make the decision that I don't want to feel like this. I want to go ahead and get my gut healed and all of that. And so I started eating healthy again. I started, you know, started moving regularly, and I actually have lost 12 pounds, you know, of the weight that I've gained back, which is good. I mean, it's a start. I'm not going to beat myself up over the weight gain. You just don't always know how you're going to respond to grief. And it kind of highlighted for me the importance of finding a healthier way to soothe myself, the healthier way of dealing with, you know, really big stresses. Now, I mean, I had already been having some digestive issues since, you know, since March of 2020, since everything happened, and there was so much more uncertainty in the world. I was definitely having some more issues. And so, you know, it's been a good lesson for me to learn to figure out what works best for me. And so I am planning on coming back. If you notice, there's a bit of a name change. I actually have had the brand Simple Clean Living for more than a decade. I started the website, I started the brand after my mom had been diagnosed with cancer. And at that time I was married, and my now ex-husband had just a laundry list of chronic illnesses. And for me, what I realized in my life, what was best was to simplify things, and that simplifying in the means of simplifying what I'm eating, eating whole fresh foods and getting rid of all the processed stuff, getting rid of a lot of like the plastics in my house, and moving to using you know, metal and glass storage, getting rid of a lot of the conventional household cleaners and you know, body products. And I mean, because I'm sensitive to a lot of that stuff, and you know, understanding that that I was kind of the key to saying, okay, I need to do this differently too. You know, just living more simply, simplifying my schedule, simplifying my life, and finding out what is better for me as somebody who is highly sensitive. So that's kind of what I have been doing for a decade, not always successfully. You know, I've had moments where I've gone back to just eating junk food because that was my main way of soothing myself. And, you know, now it's more important to me to kind of get back to my roots and go back to Simple Clean Living and really help other people who are empaths or highly sensitive like me to figure out a better way of living, and, you know, just kind of to be in the world differently in a way that works in a healthier way for us. And so I'm going to be back, you know, I'm going to be making more videos regularly, doing more work on the website, and just, you know, sharing kind of my journey. You know, I'm not here to be a coach or anything like that, but just kind of sharing my own journey, my own experiences, making my way through the world as somebody who is sensitive, and sharing the things that have worked for me, the things that have not worked for me, ways that I have healed myself, all things like that. So I'm looking forward to being back and sharing with y'all, and you know, just being a voice to what works, and trying to help you maneuver your own way as a sensitive, and all of that. So I look forward to seeing you guys here soon. Please feel free to comment, you know, let me know what's going on in your world and in your life, and the things that you're struggling with if you're sensitive. You know, anything like that is helpful to me, because, you know, I can go ahead and make videos about them and address them. If you're not sure if you're a sensitive, hop on over to my website. There is an energy sensitivity quiz that you can take. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to give me your email address or anything like that. But you can have a better sense of if you are a sensitive. There are plenty of us out there. 15 to 20% of the population is sensitive to some degree, and there are some things that we all deal with as sensitives that you may not realize is a part of your sensitivity. And just knowing that can be really, really helpful. So hop on over there. Also, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, and if you want to get notifications the next time I post a video, then click the little bell button. All right, guys, take care of yourself. Make sure you spend plenty of time doing some self-care and loving yourself enough to put yourself first. That was one thing that I fell short on after my dad passed, and it's something that's been a pattern for me, and it's something that a lot of sensitives do struggle with, and that is putting ourselves first and making self-care a priority. So do that. Take care of you, and I look forward to seeing you here the next time. Bye.